You're welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. We're back live. Um, and it's your girl. Okay, used to say that. It's your girl, Susanna Komalafe. And we're back on our conversation, Susanna on the Move. So you might be watching these on our YouTube channel, Time with Wise Men. This is one of our monthly program, which is powered by the Afro in the Diaspora Center. So let me just give a brief introduction of myself again for those of you that might be joining this program for the first time or that have the opportunity to watch us. So my name is Dr. Susanna Olatunji Kamalafe, and I'm the CEO for the organization known as Afro in the Diaspora Center. This program, which is called Time with Wise Men, is one of the initiatives that the organization run, where it's a gathering of men, wise men, men that are of wisdom. We bring men together to share various conversation. So today I seem to be the only one on the air, so that's good. I don't know if you've watched some of our series for 2026. The first one was on identity, and then the second one was on emotional intelligence for men. We talk about leadership as well for men, and then we also last topic, which was that for the month of April, was basically I think that was around talking about fathers and fatherhood and what that means within a family, the role of fathers in a family. So if you are joining for the first time, I would love you to just click and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you go through all the other videos that we've had there. Like and watch those videos. Send us your comments. If you like to be part of this program, you can send us your email. We will send you links on a monthly basis of the program that's coming next. And then you can join in on the conversation. So the conversation is an open conversation. You can either come into the studio room to join us, or you can join us online if you want to. You can join us online. You can also join us. Basically, you can join us on our YouTube channel or LinkedIn. LinkedIn. So these are the platforms in which you can find us and join in on the conversation. So today we are talking on, just to bring up my note there, we're going to be talking on mental health and wellness for men. So basically what we're going to talk about, our focus will be just to focus our discussion on emotional well-being for men. How do men handle their own emotional feelings? How do they express it? So we like you most to drop comments on your YouTube channel. What you think, how do you think men do manage their own emotional well-being? So give us your own understanding of how men manages their own emotional well-being. And that's your way of you contributing to the conversation by dropping those comments on our YouTube channel. Just engage us through that or on our LinkedIn. So the second will be, what are the framework for addressing stigmas? We believe that there's so many stigma today that men do experience in their homes, in their community, in their places of work, among other men. See, these are stigmas that men do deal with. How do they, manage this and talk about these stigmas? So if you have your own opinion or views or to contribute to the conversation, let us know that through by dropping those comments on our YouTube channel. And you can drop it live now. And if you want to join me live as I'm talking, just drop a comment that you like to drop live. I'll send you the link. I'm going to put the link whether there in the comment for those who might be watching. Either you're watching me on YouTube channel or you're on LinkedIn. And if you want to drop that in. So the next thing we're talking about is how a practical community orientation um, approach to wellness, especially when it comes to men. Within the community, how do people respond to wellness when it comes to men? How does the community, what are the conversations that we are having in the community which relating to men? So let us know what you think, and let us know that through the comment space. Just drop this in the comment space, and then that's how you're contributing. So we want to talk also and get your view on common common stress that men faces today. What are those common stress that men faces today? We want to get your view. We want you to contribute on those things. How do they healthily cope with strategy? Healthily coping with strategy. So men do experience stress, and how do they cope with those stress? What are the strategies you can use in coping those stress? Let us know what you think. These are some of the strategies you think that can help us to cope with those strategy. Sorry, there I just have to put down the volume on my phone there so that it's not disturbing us and while we're talking. So as we hear today, just let me know. So we know that there's so many stress that men goes through today. So what do you think are the common strategy that we can take in addressing those things? Let us know that. Drop it in the comment space. How do we encourage openness? You know, many of us talk about that men do not they're not open enough, either in relationship, either in their household, either among other men, that they're not open anymore. They don't really talk much about their emotion. This could affect their wellness. So how can we encourage men to be more open? Open in the way they engage, interact with their wives, their relationship, their colleagues at work, their friends in the community. How do they relate with that? So, how do we actually really encourage this openness? So, these are the things we want us to start thinking of. How do we encourage openness? How to check in and out with friends, when women, we talk, we go out for outing, girls outing, we do so many things, but men, are they doing these things? Are you going out? Are you talking to other men when you have issues, when you have problems? Who do you talk to when things stresses you? Do you have a friend? Do you have a colleague? Do you pray? This is part of the things you can do. Do you pray as a man? Because men, really, sometimes you don't see a lot of men talking about prayers. Do you pray? Do you who do you reach out to when you have issues that you're dealing with as a man? How do you address that? This is important because we're talking about men's mental health. These things affect a lot of mental health for men, and we're talking about not just your mental health but your well-being and the wellness of yourself. And in order for you to achieve those wellness for yourself, when you are stressed, what are your coping strategies for being stressed? Are you open? So we want to encourage openness, telling you that it is important to be open. And how do you check in on yourself and your friends that you might feel that they might need your support? Are you checking in on them? Is it on a call? Taking them out to run, praying with them? Do we have men praying groups? I don't know if there's any group like that is just focused on men coming together and just praying and just focusing on edifying each other through prayers, edifying one another through prayers. I know there's a lot of women. As a woman, I know there's a lot of women's group that is focused on praying. But are we doing that? Are we praying together? Men, are you guys praying together? Do you have a group you can go to as men to pray, to support you yourself, to strengthen yourself in your home, in your community? Now you relate with other people. And when and how do you seek professional support? Now, especially within the African community. And I know I don't want to stereotype it and I don't want to feel biased because I know this a lot of men have time together that is really actually talk. Now, I don't know how many men seek professional support, but I don't, to say that, oh, how many men, but especially within our own African community, African Caribbean community, do men actually seek support? Do you go out there to speak to a counselor, somebody to counsel you, the therapy, uh, especially about your mental health, especially about your wellness? Are you taking steps? Do you realize how important that is for you to actually take steps to deal with your mental health? Are you doing this? And these things are very important in our lives. These are the things, these are the common things that we want to start encouraging men to do. Has an organization, the Afro Diaspora Center, and this initiative that talks about time with white men, the whole idea of the initiative is to encourage men to be out there. The whole idea, the whole focus of this initiative is to encourage openness among men, to tell men that it's okay for you to talk to someone when you are stressed, to help your wellness, and not just talking to somebody, but talking to professionals that can be of help. So, as we gather this afternoon in this conversation, some of the things I would like us to think about are: one, understanding emotional well being, breaking stigma around men's mental health, building supportive community, and what are these practical tools for daily wellness. Uh, while I will get you guys to really start thinking about all this and thinking of what we do, I'm just going to put a break. Just let us have a short break then, and during this break, that we can just have some music. I'll play some music there just for us. Just some music. Okay, I'm sure we had a good break there. And so, for most of us that might just be joining, I don't know whether you're joining us on YouTube channel, which is the Time with Wise Men, or you're joining us on LinkedIn. So wherever you're joining us, if it's on LinkedIn, try to click on follow so that you can follow me and you can join us on a monthly basis to see what we're doing. And if it's on LinkedIn, try to like our YouTube channel, join us on YouTube, follow us, and be part of this conversation. So I said today we're going to talk on understanding emotional well-being for men, breaking stigmas around men's mental health, uh, building supportive community, and practical tools for daily wellness. So, time with my men. And today, topic again for those of you that might just come on as we had a short break there, is on mental health and wellness for men. So, let's see how this takes us. Let me see how this will take us. So, we want to talk about understanding men's emotional well-being. And first, I want us, if you're joining us, and if you're those of you that is with us on YouTube channel, what I want you to do right there is to say, just drop a comment there. What do you understand about men's emotional well-being? Do you think this is necessary? Do you think men needs to nurture the emotional well-being? Do you think it is important, just as we are saying it, that men should really focus on their emotional well-being and how this could affect them, and what relevance is this to them as men, and how does this really make a difference in the way men. Now, what are the takeaways? So note this. What what are the takeaways you want to take from this? Um, these are the things you can put in the comments space on YouTube channel, and or if you're on LinkedIn, just drop those things and engage in this conversation. And for those of you that are part of the YouTube community, start discussing this among yourself, and you can do this with the conversations that you have on your chat, on the chat. So why is mind emotional? Why men's emotions are often hidden? Why is it that it is often hidden? It's so hidden that men just, these are the questions we're talking about. Why is it hidden? What is the social expectation? What is the social expectation and conditions around a men's mental health? What are the social expectations that arises? Is there anyone you can mention? Just mention there. I'm going to check there in the comment space and see what people are dropping. What are the social expectation conditions that people? What is the cost of emotional expression? So when you express this emotion, what does it cost you as a man? Do you think this take away your dignity? That's the questions I'm asking. Does it take away your dignity in any way? Let us know. Do you think it takes away your dignity? If you think so, then let us know if it does. Yeah, what does that do? What does that do to you? So people are talking about the importance of mental health to them, that how it is important to them. And then one of the things I'm getting from conversations that we're having here is that people are talking about breaking stigmas and fostering open conversation, which I mentioned before, having open conversation. And people are really talking about how do we break all the stigmas? How do we break down the stigma? Yeah, how do we break down the stigma? So what do we have to do to break down the stigma? Yeah. Bruno, you're welcome.
Hello, sorry, I'm late. A bit busy.
You're welcome to the conversation today. I Before I had other people in. So our topic today, it's on mental health and wellness. So we are live already. So that we're already live on our YouTube channel, and we're on LinkedIn, and people can see us and can see you. So can you see what is on the screen there?
Yeah, yes, I can. Thank you.
So those are the three topics we're having conversations. Some people are joining us on YouTube to make their own comments.
Okay.
So, and what I've been gathering uh, from these is so it's about understanding emotional well-being. So these are the three questions that we want us to talk about. Why is men emotion? Why men's emotions are often hidden? Why do they hide it? What are the social expectation and condition, and what is the cause of emotional suppression? So before you answer the question again, just like we normally do, just give us a short introduction of yourself again, um, and tell us about what you're doing in the community, and then you can go straight and talk about this.
Okay, my name is Bruno. I'm from Italy. I've been living in Ireland for the past 20 years. Um, I I work in a financial company, but my involvement with society in a more spiritual way is I'm also a director, a co-founder of a charity here in Ireland that help children. Sorry, I'm just trying to close some windows here. That
That's okay.
for
No,
the
it's
connection
okay.
for the connection. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just for the internet connection is
Yeah.
getting it's
Yeah.
getting better. So the charity is called Educare. I'm one of the director and trustee, and we do support children that come from like difficult background in terms of economy and other conditions that cannot attend school because of maybe the parents they they have in a difficult financial situation, or maybe some of them they have they have like maybe they have only one parent,
Yeah.
or both parents are sick, or one of the parents is sick, and so they're
Mm.
different situation. And we work. We work in Tanzania a lot and in Vietnam. In Vietnam,
Okay.
we work with public schools. So we have agreement with the local community, with the local government, like basically the city. We identify which are the children that are in need. We have list, and then we sponsor the the fees for them so they can attend public school and they can get education.
Yeah.
In Tanzania, we have a lot more programs. We are taking care of a Maasai tribes, about 25,000 people there. And
Mm.
we built schools. We provided we built a well for the water. We are just finished building a dispensary for the so they can get some medical help if you need to. So we have in contact with the government. The government is providing. We already built the structure. The government is providing all the machinery that is
All the
needed,
necessary things. Yeah.
and the doctor. The
Mm.
school, they're all recognized by the government. We built all the houses, all the classrooms and houses for the teachers. So the government is sending the teacher there, so they get the national curriculum, and they can go to university if they want to after that. So it's growing a lot. We have beside that we have an orphanage with about 30 children as well that are doing very very well, and another place that is also taking care of children, disadvantaged children as well. So yeah, that's a little bit of my public
Yeah.
involvement with the.
So, um, so
Sorry.
don't forget. Oh no, that's good. Don't forget in the comment space. Please drop your contact details. If there's a website, drop
Oh
it in
yeah,
the
sure. Yeah, I
now.
can put the website
Not
there.
if you have the private one. Don't drop it in the private one. Is the comment space,
Yeah,
which is the general one, and people on YouTube and LinkedIn can see the details, and especially if they want to contact you. And also in the private space, just drop your mobile number so I can add you to the group as well. Because I should have asked you last week to do that, but yeah. So let's
yeah.
go back to the conversation. So what is your take on this?
Okay, I'm not an expert on that. On that,
Yeah,
I'm not so
no,
much.
no, no.
But
It's a
I think,
conversation.
yeah,
Just see those questions up there. You're a man, and generally you can answer those questions. That's just it. It's just general conversation. Yeah. Mm.
I think there is a wide variety of men that react in a different ways on the topic. But I think generally, I think it's a trait of man, and I think it has to do the way that man's brain and woman's brain is structured. Women tend to have a lot of how to say connection going on at the same time, whereas man is kind of focused on one thing. And the tendency, I think, and generally speaking, the women are more on the emotional side of it, whereas man is more rational on certain condition, a certain situation.
Mm.
And I think it has again, like going back to the conversation we had last time. I think man is built differently, and is built like more for protection, with more like I think the natural tendency. I know that these days it's all watered down, and men are like whatever that they're considered to be. Um, anyway, it's a whole different conversation. But I think in general, the original way that we were made or that we are created for those who are believers is that the man is there for protection, is there for uh, um, is the guy that take care of things, and as such, it doesn't have it doesn't allow to be himself
Yeah.
being easily drawn into what to say, into just uh, blurting out whatever goes on in his
Yeah.
mind. I think they're more conservative in the sense. I'm not saying that there are men that do that. Of
Yeah.
course there are, but in general, like in
Mm.
very high level, I think that's that the tendency, and I think that's one of the reason. And I think while man has I think has a capacity that can forget more easily things or put them aside in a much easier way than women can. And that's also, I think, one trait that is it's different, and that's why man can maybe seemingly seems to be overcoming better a certain situation
Mm.
than a woman. It doesn't mean that the man doesn't have the feelings, obviously, but
Yes,
it's just that
it
it
doesn't
can
mean.
yeah. It just means that it's, it doesn't it is that just doesn't feel any help just lay out every single emotion that is going through. I think the
Mm-hmm.
man is kind of the type of person that want to work it out inside himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the other point is social expectation and conditioning. The social expectation, I think, these days is all over the places, and it's all mixed up and confused, and at the best,
I think
and
I think you're right to say that we're in a confused society now.
yeah, and that's the most polite way that I can put it on. I could use some more rude language about it, but that's a situation. Is because
Yeah.
there is a the confusion is it's unfortunately it's driven by a lot of advertisement of certain ideas
Mm-hmm.
which are still within the minority of people, and if you think people think rationally, is
Mm.
they know that what they're trying to do is really not right, but they try to push these ideas in a
Mm.
very strong way,
Mm.
and there seems to be, even from the side that are, let's say, more conservative, which
Yeah.
have the traditional man and woman um, perspective, like
Mm-hmm.
even who man and woman are, and the marriage as a man and a woman, because that's what the
Mm-hmm.
marriage is. Otherwise, you don't call
Mm.
it marriage if it's not a man and a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know why people insist on calling them like a union of two men or union to woman. They call it
Mm.
marriage. It can't be a marriage because marriage is man and woman. That's what the
Mm.
definition is. So anyway,
I
that's
agree
another
with
topic.
you. No, 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 I agree with you. Yeah.
But
Mm.
I think,
Like you said, we are in a confused society.
yeah. So
That's what yeah.
everything is diluted, everything
Mm.
is watered down, and everything is I feel this is the way I feel, and everybody has to agree with me, everybody has
Mm.
to accept what I feel. That's not exactly how it works, and so and I think on the last point, the cost of emotional oppression, uh, that's one of the consequences, because people just tend to this kind of condition which we're living in now, which is getting more and
Mhm.
more into a confusion, and bringing more this kind of ideas into society, is
Mhm.
that people retract more and more and say, okay, let them do what they want, and I'm just this, I keep my own traditional value. I
Mm.
know what is right, and I'm just doing, but they're not vocal about it,
Yeah.
And that is also a very, I think, is a very detriment to society, because we should be talking about it. We should be discussing more openly about this, especially
Mhm.
because out of the 8 billion people living on Earth, I think 99% of the people, if not more, they agree that, a man and woman coming together is that what's natural and what's the best for both.
Probably.
But that's not what we hear around. Everywhere we are bombarded in the media, TV, schools, whatever, anything. Is just all this new way of looking at things, which is
Mhm.
totally disrupting and damaging society.
Exactly, exactly. No, I do agree with anyway. For me, I do agree with what you're saying, automatically. And those are the cost of those emotional expression that we're talking about today. Those are the cost of the emotional that we're talking about today. So let me bring in Paul. How are you, Paul?
I'm okay, thank you.
Good, good. Oh, something happened there. Your video is gone. Okay, now it's okay. So
Okay,
like our topic today again is on mental health and
okay,
sorry, mental health and wellness for men. So, from what we were talking about there, we said, how do we understand emotional wellness? That is where you come in. That is where we are. And Bruno has talked. We talked about what are men's emotional. Often, why is it often hidden? Why is it that men hide away their emotional feeling? Then we talk about what is the cost to that. What is the cost to those emotional suppression? And that is where you came in and you heard what Bruno was talking about. How we believe that the society has become so confused. That is our own thinking. You might have a different thought about it. This is a conversation, it's open conversation. And then we said, what is the social expectation? What are these social expectations that we are looking into? So again, just introduce yourself briefly, because other people might be watching us for the very first time. And from there, if there's anything you want to share with us today, you can share that, and then you go into the conversation from there. Thank you.
okay, thank you very much. My name is Paul Afolabi. I'm a practice there because the call came in.
It's okay.
Sorry. Oh, uh,
Okay, I think he's gone there. Um, so anyway, we wait for him to come back. Doctor,
Sorry,
oh, it's
can
okay. He's
how
just
do
come
I
back.
put how do I, if I click join the chat on the comment, it tried to connect me to YouTube, but I
So
can't connect to YouTube.
okay, so if you want, do you want to drop a comment or what?
Yeah, if you wanted to, I can put the number if you wanted the charity. I can put it to the private chat, and you can share it if you want
Okay,
to.
yes, you can do that if that is okay.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
That's okay then. So we do that for now. So yeah. Okay. So while we are waiting for Paul to come back, Dr. Victor Oduko, are you ready to come into the conversation?
Hello, good
Yes.
afternoon.
Good
Okay, can you
afternoon.
hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you. We just want to know if you're ready to come into the conversation.
Yes, well, at any
Yeah,
time, no worries. How are
yeah, go
you?
ahead. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead. And so just to remind you, the topic today is on mental health and
okay,
wellness. And
okay,
just from those points there, we're talking about. So this is what we're generally. This is just to guide what you are going to talk about.
okay,
Understanding emotional well-being. What are the stigma around mental health, especially when it comes to men, and how do we build supportive community to support men in their wellness and in their mental health. And if you know any of the practical tools that we can use. I think when I was talking before you came in, I said one of the things that we, prayer is one of those things that I was saying to myself that I don't think there's any forum which is a network for men that is just men that comes in to pray and just to edify themselves. And I think we can introduce this as well to this group, whereby just men come together and they just pray as part of the tools they can use to help them mentally and their wellness. So go ahead, Dr. Victor Oduko.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for everyone that have contributed to it. And moreover, I think you have actually helped me in some of the solution, therapeutic solution, they say, and the most therapeutic is prayer, like you said. And like you said, men, women, yesterday I was in a women program, in Blanchardstown. Women, they are so much ahead of men when it comes to things of spirituality. I know men are pastors here and there, but the thing is, men are just only there to gather congregation and do what they want to do, and that's it. They don't come separately like, well, there are some, maybe because of churches, so you have men group and they do it, you might not know. But outside church, you don't see men coming together from different perspective. That is one thing. But I'll tell you, mental situation, everybody, but we are talking of men today, I'm telling you, I think it becomes sporadic in this century. It wasn't that much during our father, our parents, because of what? They know, they take care of them. They took care of themselves. My father, my grandpa, I saw him live. He lived for 120 years back in my village, and he was so healthy. And I'll tell you some of the things that contributed to them physically and mentally fit is that they knew their onions. They knew what to do at what time and what space. Farmers, yes, he was a farmer. So physically, what do you think? They will be very, very healthy. And what does farmer do? Everything is fresh. Farmers just do fish. Farmers, they go fish too. When I was there is nothing, no fridge, nothing called fridge or freezer. Even my daughter was asking me that, how was it happening in our own time that our parents were healthy? So I was trying to tell him, no microwave at that time, So what do? They make everything physical and fresh for themselves. So ability to make things fresh, make body. I mean, this mental ability, where does it come from? It comes from the body. It comes from the membrane. It comes from we not taking care of our functionality, of our metabolism. That is one thing that is happening. And like we said, how does it happen? It starts from the mind and go to the head, the brain. And that is how it comes gradually before it becomes a maximum mental problem, higher mental problem. Mentality, it has degree. There are low, middle, and high degree. It depends on how they tackle it, of the stages of mentality. But in men, I'll tell you, men, like I said to you, my grandpa, 120 before he died, and they were viable, they were active. There's no codeine, no paracetamol, and all what they used was herbs. Herbs. The mango tree and mango leaf, they boil together, have something to do in your body. The cashew leaf, cashew himself, have something to do with your body. They never talk of diabetic or high blood pressure or hypertension or high cholesterol. They go take fish, fresh, put in the boiling and eat. The salt they use then, not as a heavy salt that we use now. No sugar. There was sugar cane. Yeah, they planted sugar cane, but when they go out and cut the sugar cane, they eat it like sugar. That is what they do. They have herbal tea. You yourself as a Yoruba, you know what they call dongoyaro tree. It's planted in front of every house is there. The dongoyaro leaves, when you boil it, if you have malaria fever, it will go. So why am I saying this? There are a lot of things that cause mental problem for men. Because men now, they have more pressure. Pressure of what? Pressure of the family, pressure of the wife. Yes, wife abuse to men, pressure of children too, pressure of finances, pressure of work, business. These are the things that brought this mental trouble to men. Marriages, dysfunction, divorce, children not attending to their parents or not agreeing with their parents. These are the things. So there are a lot of tension for men. And that is one of the reasons why the mental problem in men are higher than that of women. Because the pressure from wife to husband alone is enough. You know, women disrespecting their husband, not agreeing with them in what they're supposed to agree. And now, when the children see that, now the children now be dysfunction because that is what they see their parents doing. So they were confused. Like I heard somebody say, yes, there's confusion in the system. There is great confusion in the system. And the government they can't do much about it. So, like you said, the problem is within the family. Start from the family. Start from husband and wife. Start from children before it gets to the community. And that is what we need to really resolve. If we can resolve that, this thing will come down a bit. You can see during the COVID-19 how it is that people cannot go out. You see the mental problem among people, among children, among men. Men are too high. Some men can go and commit suicide because there's no job, no business, no money. They committed suicide. They killed themselves. That is part of mental problem. They were frustration. You know, and if care is not taken, if you've been seeing this kind of signs of mental problem, you need to quickly tackle it. You need to speak out. You need to speak out. If you convene it with yourself, then gradually it will take you to a higher ground. That's why I said there is the small one, the medium, and the upper one. And when it comes to upper one, that is when now they will have to take you to the psychiatric home. So we have to be careful. You have to be careful. You speak out. You look for help. When you start seeing that, oh, you are not thinking well, or you are seeing some kind of things, or you are hearing some kind of things, go for a therapist. There are therapeutic people there to see to you. That is in the biological one or clinical one. But the most important thing is prayer. It's God who has made you. And what God said is made you in image. And our God is not a mental God. So if you pray to him, if you know God, you will not be dealing with this kind of situation. And like you said, men, they don't come to pray. And if you can start it even in this podium, it will be good. I will be happy to, if it is even 5 men and we choose a day, yes, because I've been with women, you know yourself. Tonight, I have a prayer too, prophetic hour. I've been going with women, I've been praying with women. My wife too is a prayer woman. And I was in a meeting yesterday with prayer people. So that is what I can think about this mental situation to bring solution to it. Medication cannot cure it totally. Because when it is in the system, it is in the blood, it's difficult. It's difficult to get rid of. It's prayer that can do it. and good food, good physical health. You yes, do physical.
And just to come in there, I think basically when you have a good social
Yeah, yeah,
support,
yeah, yeah.
within that social support, there'll be, you talk about prayer, you pray together, which
Mm-hmm.
helps you emotionally. It strengthens you. It takes away the stigma because you can
Mm-hmm.
talk about it among other men. There's
Mm-hmm.
openness, there's social outing. Men need time together away from women, time
You
that they
are
can
right.
spend together on their own and just talk and just be men. And myself, when Bruno was talking there, we said we have a confused society now, whereby men are not allowed to be men, women are not allowed to be women are asked to take on the role of responsibility of being a man rather than being a woman. So there's so much confusion. I'm going to
Mm.
bring in Mr. Paul
Okay. Thank you.
Labi. Yeah, thank you very much. You're going to come in later. The conversation is still going on.
Ah,
I'm going
well,
to
I will see if I have the time because I have to prepare for my night.
exactly. So
Mm.
we've taken a lot from the conversation already, from Bruno, from Dr. Victor. Now, Brother Paul Afolabi, it's your moments, and don't forget, again, introduce yourself. Just before you introduce yourself, just to say to everyone, I think I'm right in saying this now, that you've agreed to become the chairperson for the Afro in Diaspora Center. Have you agreed, or are you still thinking?
I,
Yes,
the
have you
chairperson or the
agreed?
vice chairperson?
No, okay, no, oh yeah, sorry, being the vice chairperson for the organization. So
Okay,
have you agreed, or you're still thinking?
okay. I think I agree with that.
You've
But for the
agreed. So when
chairperson,
you're
no.
introducing yourself, just to
Okay,
introduce
thank you very
yourself
much.
again as that. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you very much. I'm Paul Afolabi, a practicing engineer and a creative entrepreneur, and it's nice to be here. I've learned a lot. I'm very sorry I joined a bit late, but while I joined, I had a few ways we can fix this. I think I'm more interested in the because the courses it's multifaceted. But if
Mm.
we dwell more on the causes and we talk less of the solution, we may not be helping the subject because causes of mental health and emotional instability in men ranges from one person to the other. Yes, I may be battling unemployment. The next person may be battling a divorce
Yes.
or maybe a fatherhood issue. Some might have an abusive marriage, while the next person may just be battling loneliness, possibly because of the age, loss of one's wife, and the likes. But the solution is the practical way. One cause that I observe, I don't know whether it has been well highlighted, is the use of social media. The traditional way we grew up, the normal societal setting, we are losing that very fast. We have less time with our children again, and children have little time to talk with their parents. Everyone is busy with their either TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and it's causing more loneliness than we expected. It is causing anxiety, and a lot of us are now becoming more mentally burnout than usual. But what's a way to this? I yeah, sometimes I've adopted the method of deleting some of these apps. I never have a TikTok account. No, Instagram I used to have an account, but I've never been functional there. I handle social media for business, but I don't do it myself. I just decide to contract that out to a third party to handle it. Facebook, yes, I'm there once in a while, but often I delete the app once it takes my time, I don't have time for that. Something that drains me mentally. If I really want to go there, I stay there maybe a day or so. Then I delete again for the next weeks, I may not, or months. It's just to have absolute control over my life, because I believe all these things, they really burn us out. It affects not only our sleep quality, it also affects the time we should be using for exercise, to do one or two things, having good walk, brisk walk, or talking with friends, with family, on phone. We are using it on social media. Then at the end, it brings in anxiety. Our mental health is not balanced again. Then we have, for the younger ones, we always have the fear of, I posted something, they don't like it. It seems people don't like me. And it drives the young male now into some into suicide, some into withdrawing themselves from the public. And so one way is to have absolute control of the social media space. I don't know whether that has been highlighted well, because it causes anxiety, depression for most young men, possibly 25, and they want acceptability, validity from the society. And with time, it leads to anxiety, unnecessary anxiety. For the middle-aged men, because of lack of exercise, it can cause high blood pressure, which many of us suffer from, whether in silence or we know our status, sleeping disorder. What did you say?
No, I'm just smiling when you say we know ourselves.
Yes. So, and social media too has caused a lot of workplace non-productivity, because many people, instead of facing their task for the day, how to make things happen, they spend quality time on the social media, seeing how many people liked my status on WhatsApp. Look, let me post something again. Then I post something. Then in a week, you are spending about 6 hours productive time out of 40 hours of work on social media, and it kills. It burns us out mentally. Mm-hmm. And another thing I observed, that it's that can really cause emotional distance, apart from and affect our mental health being as men. It's the AI that is coming. It's becoming more real. Yes, it's becoming, the artificial intelligence ecosystem is becoming more real, and we have a lot of professionals who are not getting the figures correctly. So everyone needs to learn, put out their soft skills to start making money, because the AI ecosystem will definitely burn us out mentally. Someone who have trained as a lawyer, with the AI ecosystem, they are receiving less clients, because most companies now prefer to pay cloud or ChatGPT €20 a month. And okay, chat, please give us the procedures to handle this legal case, assuming my company, blah, blah. And tell, okay, get this done, notarize this, do this, file it here in this government office. And that's the job of someone, a professional who should be collecting possibly 50,000 clients, a fee from a client. Now ChatGPT or the chat box, cloud or whatsoever, they are making it so easy. Then we start feeling the mental burnout as a professional. And so now what do we do to cope with this? Each one of us have to start using our soft skills to start making money. Whatever we love doing, then how do we convert it to money? Because the professional space is getting it's going the other direction. So, and some of the solutions that was highlighted, I got, it's having a social, just like what we are doing. Church, mosques, shrines, and temples are also a good place where we can socialize. when we attend all those religious, whatever, whether we are a Buddhist, a Shintoist, whatever we believe in, it's those places are a platform to socialize, to meet friends, to connect. It gives us a kind of social bond because we are social animals, no way. That's how we are created. So it's a place to meet, to build a community, not just of faith, but we have a social support where we can check on each other. Then oxytocin increases, our dopamine level drops when we socialize and create a kind of, and it reduces depression in us. It reduces depression and anxiety. We can have a kind of social utility, that's satisfaction. So these are just a few things that I thought. But I don't know if someone, because I joined there, I didn't know whether other speakers.
No. Every conversation matters. So it really doesn't matter if somebody else have said it. But one beautiful thing today is that everybody spoke on different thing entirely. So my takeaway from the conversation when Bruno was talking, what I see as a takeaway for myself was the idea that the community has been becoming so confused. And when you live in a confused community, it affects your mental health, it affects your well-being. Because the definition of what it means to be a man is we are being confused. Anyway, we that know the truth knows the truth anyway. That was what Bruno was saying. We that knows the truth, we know the truth. And nearly 80% of the society, I would say, we can say somebody can say 70 or 60, still understand what it means to be a man. But those ones that are creating those confusion, it's really affecting, especially our young ones. They are losing what it means to define a man. When Bra Victor was talking there, he focused mainly on one of the things he focused on is prayer, because we were talking about solutions. So what that does to us, and I was emphasizing the fact that in our community today, you see a lot of prayer groups for women, because women use those platforms to really navigate their life and to reduce their stress. But then we need those kind of platform for men, that men can just come together as a man, not what they do either, especially for those of us that might have a faith in Christianity. It could be Muslim, it could be anything, but people that share similar faiths, let me use it that way, can have a place, because prayer is universal. It doesn't matter what kind of faith you take. Prayer is a communication to a higher being, and it's a universal something that we all believe in, that we have, we pray as a form of communicating with the higher being. So we feel that is another thing that can reduce stress. It creates bonds between those men when they come together. It gives them a platform to share their intimate thoughts through, gathering together and praying. They can say things that they, just to relieve those stress out of themselves, and to be able to share the things that might be bothering their heart, which can create health issues. And this is things we're talking about, and to reduce mental health, because you can see what is happening. I was watching different videos online, seeing people being violent, rigorously being violent, and these are the things that can reduce it. And then you totally focus on technology, different type of technology. You talk about social engagement through technology, either using Facebook. And it's so funny what you say there about being at place of work, whereby you see, instead of us focusing on our work, we're taking time out to check our YouTube channel, what is happening on Facebook, what is happening on Instagram, whatever kind of social platform you are, you're taking let's say when you have your break, that you're supposed to either eat or engage, or you just you're taking that time just to check. And instead of interacting with human being, we interact with technology during our break time. So everybody has said different type of things, the way it can help us. In order to just round up the conversation for today, how, what I'm happy about, we are all focusing on supporting emotional health in men. Every one of us are talk about solutions, solutions, and solutions. Because yes, there's been a lot of conversation around the problem, but our focus, and that is why we call this place a platform for wise men. And that shows from your conversation that I'm talking to men that with wisdom, and you've really demonstrated that wisdom, so that our focus today is not just on talking, but what are the solutions. And everybody has talked about different solutions. And it was good that you mentioned AI, because like you said, a lot of people will be out of job. And when people are out of job, it affects their well-being, wellness, it affects their mental health. So let's talk in closing the day. Each of you can pick any of those three things there. Encourage open conversation, build safe and non-judgmental space, practical habits of emotional resilience. So I'm going to go back again to Bruno. Bruno will start this conversation there with just 1 minute conversation on encouraging openness. You can talk on that. You can talk on the three, whichever one you want to talk on. Building safe,
Yeah.
non-judgmental space. I'm hoping that this our space where you men come together, it will be a non-judgmental space. And when when you talk about non-judgmental, it is most sensitive things. I don't think there's a place that is non-judgmental, but at least if we can achieve at least 30% to, let's say, 50-50, because we can never achieve an absolute space where there's non-judgmental. You said we are all human beings. We judge ourselves on different reasons. And then what are the practical habits of emotional resilience? That is, how can we become resilient to this? So I'll go back to you, Bruno. Quickly, let us know your thought on that. You
Yeah,
can
actually, I can wrap it up in a very quick way. All 3 points, at least for me.
Yes, go ahead.
I think that is the most important thing is to find out who we are, and to live a sound and proper life. Now that sounds so simple, but I am promoting a lot of family and universal values, which is the core and the basis for everyone's life. And yes, we do in society have faced a lot of different challenges, maybe out of work or difficult economic situation or difficult relationship or whatever else. But I think at the end of the day, if we know who we really are and and like we share this knowledge with other people, gradually we can build a community which also include the support, necessary support for to help each other. Sometimes we think that we are just ourselves in the difficult situation, but we are not. There are so many other people in the similar situation, very difficult one. And the fact that we don't communicate with each other about it, it's also holding up a possible solution, because as Paul mentioned, we are social being. We are relational people. We don't live by ourselves. Or we pretend to be living by ourselves, but in reality we're not. Like we separate, but in reality we are still together with the all other people, and we just suffer ourselves. We just suffer unnecessarily, because there could be a lot of help out there just by having more relations with other people. So I think it's important that we keep sharing. That's what I'm doing beside the charity. That's another thing that I'm doing, is try to share always about universal family values, because they touch everybody's life. And that once we recognize who we are, what is our position in society, we're not going to change society by changing society. We're going to change society by changing ourselves and by being better people ourselves, so we can actually influence other people. And we can, so that's the inclusion. There is no judgment there. There is no, because we're all the same family, the same human family, and we can also go into even the broader way of being, feeling ourselves as brothers and sisters everywhere. Like doesn't matter where we are from or whatever.
Exactly. It doesn't matter where we are from. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back to Paul just to round up, because I want Dr. Victor just to get yourself ready to close the evening with a short prayer there, because we've talked about prayer today. So we do that. Go ahead, Paul.
Okay, yes. I want to talk about what I dwelt on earlier. One of the about the use of technology and what technology, the revolution happening in the technological space, what is creating. Today we may have a beautiful career. We should see it as a source of purpose, as a source of growth. Not everything that life needs, because there are ups and downs, and there had been a lot of revolution in the past. We once had the industrial age, we had the computer age, we have a lot of ages are coming, and with them comes with business uncertainties, job loss, and many will fall into debt, into job insecurity. It will cause anxiety for a lot of men, mental health being. And these are some of the reasons why men have a shorter lifespan compared to women, because they have a lot of load on their shoulders. So now that we should see this period for skill development, to network, because as we grow older in years, in age, we tend to reduce our circle. The number of friends we keep in our circle keep reducing.
Yes.
Some fall off in debt, some
You're totally right.
travel. But we should try and use it to expand, because when uncertain times fall on our laps, we'll be able to now use this network to bounce up again.
Yes.
And having self-belief, we should just believe in ourselves. For those who have been very dependent on one job, it's okay. What if, just to put all these things into, what if this happens? So we can upskill. This is a good time to upskill. This is a good time to save this and to start adapting, because the world is looking for another financial downset. It happened 2008. What if it happens again? How do we cope with it? Yes. And the debt, our debt profile, we are getting used to debt. So facing debts with honesty is having good budgets, financial planning, and the like. So these are just the ways to start having a balanced mental health now against the future. It's a way to reduce anxiety. So if we start cutting our coats according to the size of the cloth, not according to our body size, but the size of the cloth. Okay, if it can't sew me a suit with a 3-piece suit, can I sew a 2-piece suit there? Yes. Okay, then I go for it. Then once we start having good planning ahead, then we reduce the mental health, the mental stress, the anxiety, start reducing. Then we start preparing, because real economic instabilities are coming. We've passed through ups and downs, and that's how the economy works.
Thank you.
So what can we focus on now?
Yeah, thanks.
What are emergency plans and the like?
Yeah, thank you so much. Dr. Victor, are you ready to come in and just give your own roundup and pray us out?
Well, I think all the gentle two men have said something, some about the social, the technology, and knowing who you are. One important thing is everybody must know. You must know who you are. Who are you? And when you know who you are, what's your purpose? Why are you in this world? What is your doing? If something gets wrong, how can you manage it? How can you correct it? Something will definitely get wrong in our life, but how do you correct it? If you can know who you are, and what is how important you are in this world, then I think there is no need for any mental or emotional disdain. And may God help us in Jesus' name. Amen. And spiritually, like I said, faith. Faith. Everything is faith. Faith is believing. Faith is first, you believe in yourself. You believe who you are. You believe that you are a man, you are not a woman. You believe you are a woman, you are not a man. You believe what you can do. That's faith. When you believe yourself, then you believe in God. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't even believe in God. And if you don't believe in yourself, in your God, you cannot believe in any other person. That is very important to make us not to be in mental disorganization. So I pray that, and social, we need to engage socially. Socially. That is what I'm going to be 65 by this month. One thing I've been fighting for in the Navan where I am is that I don't see even African men to come together to come and play Reayu, Ludo, and all these things. Even if it is for 30 minutes, go and play football or this thing. Organize all that. I've tried to be organizing, but no, nobody wants to show up. I believe some of the Irish, they do that, they do meet, but we African or migrant, we don't do it. And it's going to destroy our mental capacity. So may God help us in Jesus' name. So that's my submission. So I pray that, Lord, thank you, Lord God, because we are born in the image of God. Like I always said, we need to go to God and we need to know who we are in God. Lord, please let us know who we are in you. And let us know that you are not a creator of confusion. You are not a creator of mental problem. You are not a creator of tension. You are not you don't even create a psychiatric hospital or mental hospital. No, it's not in your budget. So Lord, that men, and even not just men, women, everybody, we will get to know who we are, and why we are in this world, and what can we do, and what is our limit, and not to frustrate ourselves or put tension or pressure. Make ourselves physically fit, emotionally fit, socially fit, mentally fit, and financially fit, because finance too can bring mental problem. And God help us in Jesus' name. Thank you, and God bless everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. And I think the prayer really summarized most of the things that was said today. So, when we started this conversation, Bruno was talking about confusion. And then in your prayer that you mentioned that God, in his infinity, which is the almighty creator of every single one of us that give us life, will take away confusion in our society that we have today, and so that we can thrive and thrive beyond what we can imagine. So thank you, men, for joining and for coming again with your wisdom. That's why we call it Time with Wise Men with wisdoms. Bringing your wisdom together for the community and to do the society at large. So many people will come across this on our YouTube channel, if and they will hear what you guys are saying, and hopefully that this will make a tremendous change in people's life as we come together. And I think so many things came out from this conversation today. Definitely we're going to set up our prayer time in the group for you men, so that and I'm happy Dr. Victor Oduko is ready to lead that. And you can just have, even if it's 30 minutes, you can just be men and just pray about things. So I will continue that in the group chat there for people, and I'll talk to Dr. Victor to fix a time. So if there's anybody watching this on YouTube channel and you're looking for platform that is just men, it's just men, don't worry, the women will not be there. It's just going to be men just coming together and talking. I won't be interrupting, guys, so don't worry, it's going to be just for men. So if you are watching this on YouTube channel or you're on LinkedIn, because those are the two platforms that this is going to live, you want to be part of this. That if you look at the screen there, you can see our email address. You can contact myself through that email address, and I will link you up with the men these men are men of wisdom, and I'll link you up with them, and you can be part of that prayer. And another thing you mentioned, we talk about social. I think I'm going to talk with to see how we can organize a day for Ayo Day. And this is an one of those games that is played in Africa, and there's so many other African countries that actually plays that game called Hayo, and it's called different names. So I'm sure, Bruno, I'll talk to you about it. I'll send you a picture. It's possible that in Italy there must be something similar to that, because we are all the same in the entire world. So we organize a day, just even if it's just for 1 hour, a location people can just come together, just play games, and it's just going to be men. I think men need their time together. Don't worry, because women we like to intrude into anything, but we make sure we're not. So thank you all guys for joining. And to those of you that will be watching us, really watching us online, whichever way you're watching us, thank you. And we see you next month again in the month of June. Let me see what is the topic we're talking about in June, just to get you guys excited about it. And I'll put it's in the group there, but I'll just bring it up again here for those that might come across this. So I'm trying to figure it out there now. Let me see. I have to go back and back to see these topics. I think I'll bring it forward today so that we can. I can't actually. Yes, so sorry for that. Now, what is the next topic? I'm trying to see here now. Okay, I can't actually get it. Okay, look. Just to mention what the next topic will be for those that are with us here. It's far back. I guess that's the reason it's taking me a bit of time. I'm looking at the conversation, the last meeting where we decided on this topic. Sorry. So the next topic is about, it's actually still a continuation of this. It's about breaking stigma around mental health. I don't know why that was, but that's what is there. So this is meant to be 2 episodes, breaking stigma around mental health, cultural approaches to healing. So we're going to be talking about healing. How do we heal ourselves as men that might have experienced different things? So I'll put it out in the group there, and I'll send it to all and that will be for June. But actually looking at this, I think we were meant to have a break in June. But anyway, we'll have another one for next month. And I'll put the topic out so that we can all prepare for it. So it's a continuation, but it's going to focus on healing, but a physical healing, spiritual healing, emotional healing, mental healing. It's just basically healing. We're going to focus on healing. So thank you all for joining, and I'm just going to play us out before I end this. Just to play us the music, and in the next few seconds you can do this.